I hope you had a nice lunch, and some of them may be in canteen or in home, might have enjoyed the lunch. So now we are going to discuss about some hot topic. It means that some numeric things. However, you need not worry, for you there is no problem anything. You are going to see some of the financial aspects, okay? Then followed by that one, marketing. So don't worry. Financial feasibility in identifying the ventureship. We have discussed in feasibility study, there are three things. One is financial feasibility, then marketing feasibility. Very important thing is operational feasibility. Okay. Today we are going to discuss the financial feasibility, followed by that one, marketing feasibility. Okay. So since I have not raised any questions on the day, only after completing today's class we will have the question. So there is a nice podcast when you are going to discuss about the financial feasibility. Whoever going to invest in any organization, they will see what is the finance. Here is a very good example. I hope some of you might have read in the newspaper. That means Air India is going back once again to the Tata groups. Once upon a time, the government taken over from the Tata groups. Even though they are said to be the pioneers in aircraft, Jamshedji Tata, he only introduced the aircraft carriers in India. However, later on, the Jawaharlal Nehru government mentioned that all the aircraft should come under the national scheme. Private aircrafts are not allowed. So Air India was taken over by the government. But now, once again, this present government decided they find it very difficult to manage the Air India because of severe competition in aviation industries. That is the reason what they have mentioned. So what happened? The Tata groups are ready to pay 18,000 crores. See that amount, not a small amount, 18,000 crores. And once again, they are going to take over the control of Air India. That is after 68 years. What is uniqueness in that one? Why we are discussing this story today? Because you must know, usually private people will take over the profitable ventures. You might have seen the Adani group in India or Ambani group in India. They are all taking care from the government, the profitable ventures. The airports development is taken over by Adani group in number of places in India. That means now the airport is said to be the profitable one. So they are taking control of that one from the government side. Even Reliance, they are taking the very good profitable ventures, especially one part of the ONGC, and here Reliance Gas, they mentioned that one, they are taken over. All are profitable ventures. Very high profit from all those organizations. But in case of Air India example, you might have seen it is running in loss. Even though it is running in loss, Tata groups are ready to take over the bid of 18,000 crores. See that one. That is the financial feasibility of the Tata groups. Other groups mentioned This is running in loss. Why can't we have to pay more than 15,000 crores? When the next bidding is only for 15,000 crores. Another group, they asked for only 7,000 crores. See that one. But the Tata, Ratan Tata, estimated nicely. Okay. All the others are aiming for profit. Why can't we can take the Air India? It is running at loss. But he decided to take over by paying 18,000 crore rupees. See that one. How far Ratan Tata estimated the financial feasibility of Air India. That is important thing. Dear students, you can see that is the difference between Tata groups and other groups. Adani is taking over profit, the airport controls they are taking over, they are constructing some of the airports. Reliance groups are taking over, there is the Ambani groups are taking over the oil and gas. All are high profitable. But Tata groups decided to take over a loss-making organization. That is the USP of this acquisition. We used to call it as acquisition, that means taken over. So how far the Ratan Tata identified the feasibility, whether we can pay 18,000 crores to take over a loss-making organization. What is the mindset of the Tata? How much he estimated? If it is a profitable venture, everybody will estimate, okay, we may gain profit. But in case of loss-making organization, this Tata group decided. And one of the reporter asked to Ratan Tata, what do you feel about that one? You have paid a huge amount of 18,000 crores. That too, they are running in loss. What you are going to do? Tata never commented about that one. He simply smiled. Returned back of Air India Maharaja. See that one, nice statement. This is a return back. Once upon a time, the government has given just 2 crore rupees and taken over the entire control of Air India. Now it is 18,000 crores. It means that how far Ratan Tata might have estimated nicely about how we can convert the Air India, a loss-making unit, into a profit-making institution. That is the brain of Tata. See that one? Dear students, you must understand. That is the USP. USP means unique selling proportion. The Tata groups are thinking in a different style. They did it. They will achieve. See that one. We have to wait and see how far Air India is going to be benefited. See that one. That is how he projected the finance nicely. Even though it is a loss-making unit, where we can bring the profit, everything. Dear students, same thing when you are going to introduce a business or whatever it may be in future in the form of entrepreneurship or in ventureship, whatever the name you may call, you are able to judge about the income level. Without deciding the income level, if you are entering into that one, definitely your burn rate, that is more expenses will come, your business has to be shut down immediately. That is the plus point. Another airlines you might have seen, I already told that person escaped from India and he is in now England. He is very good in marketing. That airlines, Kingfisher Airlines, still the last date of closing, they used to run in the customer side minimum 4.8 rating among the 5. The customer who traveled in Kingfisher used to give the rating as 4.8 minimum. Even on the last flight landed in Bangalore airport in those days, the Kingfisher rating from the customer side was very high. They used to rank Kingfisher for 4.8 minimum. But what happened? Even though Kingfisher was able to provide good financial support to the customers, not to the others. It provided nicely good rating, it identified good price it determined, and the marketing of Kingfisher is absolutely good. Whoever travel in the Kingfisher, when they are returning back, they used to give even more than 100% satisfaction. But it failed where? They failed to identify what is the financial feasibility of running the Kingfisher Airlines. That is why this part is very important. You may have a nice dream. You may expend more, but to what extent you can go for high expenses? That is important thing. So when you are deciding for a new business venture, first thing, you have to think about the payback period. We used to say as a commercial jargon, this is a technical term used in finance, that is the payback period. It simply means that you are investing around 18,000 crore now. Within how many years you will take back the amount? Remember that? Within how many years you are able to take back the investment amount? Today, Tata Group is going to invest 18,000 crore in Air India. How many days or how many years it takes to get back 18,000 crore? In other words, simply speaking, if Tata Groups are estimating every year from Air India, there may be 1,000 crores will come. They are estimating the profit per year from the Air India may 1,000 crore. If they estimated like that, they used to tell that within 18 years, we will get back 18,000 crores. Simple thing, 18,000 crore divided by 1,000 crore. The result is 18 once again. It means that within 18 years, we will get back a profit of 18,000 crores. After that, whatever we are earning from this Air India is said to be profit. That is the payback period. Payback period means within how many years you are able to get back the amount invested by you in the business. That is called the payback period. Dear students, clearly think your mindset. Simple thing. In our example, today Ratan Tata is going to invest 18,000 crore. He may estimate, definitely, every year, we have to gain 1,000 crore. They will set a marketing plan in such a manner to attract the customers and to gain 1,000 crores in a year. Of course, they are mentioned more than 300 flights are running every day from the Air India. He used to fix the target. In his mindset, he might have thought, or if he thought minimum 3,000 crores we are able to gain, means within 9 years we can, within 4.5 years we can get back the income. That is what we used to call it as payback period. Even in a small business, you are ready to borrow from your dad around 5 lakh rupees. Your dad is saying, okay, you studied PG, you studied MSc or MCA, so you are having well qualified. I am ready to give only 10 lakh rupees to you. You can do something business. Let us see what you are going to do. Your dad is openly giving a challenge to you. Usually your dads will give challenge. You have to take that challenge. Okay, what you will do? Okay, dad, you are given 10 lakh rupees. I am going to start some business. So how you will estimate that one? You have to repay 10 lakh rupees to your dad. That is important. Even though your dad will not ask immediately, he will have some apprehension among you. Okay, my doctor is very good, my son is very good. Of course, he may estimate. Then how she will repay this 10 lakh rupees? So what will be the first question? What is your payback period? Certainly. So you are able to answer. Every year, we will get 2 lakh rupees as income for first 5 years. It means that within first 5 years, we will get back our investment. That is the payback period. 5 years is said to be the payback period. Dear students, you must know these are the technical things we are using in case of doing the business. If you are going to ask to a bank, immediately the banker will ask, okay, your business idea is nice. You are having a nice thing. You are going to create an app. You are telling that you are the only one person is able to create this app. Okay, everything we agree. Finally, they will ask, we are going to invest around 20 lakhs. When you will repay this 20 lakhs, that is our side. Usually venturers will be like that. The venture capital who is providing the capital to you will ask. Even if you are ready to start a small restaurant in our Kottanur area, you want a bank loan, you are going to a bank, immediately the banker will ask, okay, you can start a restaurant, no objection, everything. But for us, within how many years you will return back the amount? That is the payback period. It is usually defined in the conceptual side, how much amount we have invested. That is called the initial cash outlay. You can see here, that's a simple formula. We used to call it as a thumb rule. Thumb rule means immediately able to take decision. How we will take the decision? Our cash outlay. Cash outlay means investment. Initial cash outlay means investment. You borrowed 10 lakh rupees from your dad, or your dad is taking utmost risk and give it you, okay, my doctor and my sons are very good. They are able to do some business. So your dad is ready to give you 10 lakh rupees. You can do something business. So indirectly in the dad mindset, he will think how many years our doctor will get back the money and return to us. Even though he is not worried about any other thing, he is having a confidence among you, but dad won't express immediately, including me. If my son asks anything, I won't express immediately because you have to maintain first. But I will watch. I am having 100% confidence among my son. But openly we won't do. I don't know, that is our Indian custom. But girl said it is not like that. If you are asking, immediately your dad will tell. Same thing relating to me. If my doctor is asking, I will say immediately yes. But my son is asking, I will think. Reverse. What my son will ask to his mother, my wife only. She will immediately agree. You know the situation in your home. Maybe in your home also it may be like that. So your dad is taking risk and giving you 10 lakh rupees, and what your dad will tell you, okay, immediately you will think within how many years we have to repay to our dad. Simple rule. If your dad is giving $1,50,000, it may be rupees. Every year you are estimating 30,000 as income means your payback period is said to be 5 years. Simple thing. Okay. So if you are starting a simple seafood restaurant, you need 1,50,000 rupees for establishing. Your dad is giving. So you have to estimate clearly that within 5 years, you have to repay the amount to your dad. That is called the payback period. Not only your dad, if you are borrowing loan from a bank, bankers are now ready to give free loan to anybody. Every day they are torturing us. Do you need loan? We are ready to give, just interest rate is 6%, 7%, all the frauds they are telling. But when you are going to approach them, I am having a nice business plan. I am able to create a nice web development, as well as I know the app creation. I will create an app and sell that one. Okay, the bankers will tell, okay, these are your issue. For me, we are ready to give you loan, but what is the payback period? That will be the question from the banker side. Even though they in the phone, they may call you, very good, come here, we are ready to give you loan. You can start your business, you can earn. They will call you, they will give a nice welcome to you in the bank. They may even go for red carpet welcome also. But first question they will ask, okay, we are ready to give you, when you will return back the amount along with the interest. That is the payback period. Okay, so you must understand what is the payback period. The thumb rule is initial cash outlay, that is the investment. You are investing 1,50,000 in your business. Every year you are estimating 30,000 rupees as an income. So your payback period will be 5 years. Dear students, you must understand, of course, as per your syllabus, this payback period is coming under the 5th unit. So don't worry, we are going along with the feasibility study in 3rd unit. If you see in your LMS, it is in the last unit, but we are discussing along with the feasibility study. Otherwise, I have to teach twice feasibility study as well as the payback period separately. Okay, that is called the payback period. Next important thing, since you may not know about budget, I think some of you might have studied the accounting in your school life. In 12th standard, you might have studied. Okay, the bankers will ask, okay, I am ready to give the loan, but what is your budget? So you may think, oh, these people are asking about the budget, how to prepare the budget. That is the next question. Definitely they will ask. Even if you want to go to a cinema, you are asking money. On which basis you will ask money? You decided to go to see a particular film and saw in the theater. During these holidays, I think 2 Kannada film and 1 Hindi film is going to release. Already 1 Tamil film has been released in OTP yesterday. So you are asking, Ma, we are going to a cinema. Immediately your mother will ask, first she will think, what I can do? You can ask your dad, what you will do? No, Ma. Our friends are going. We have already selected the theater. We will return back on time. Don't worry. You will convince the mother. When you are convinced the mother, what is the worry about you with your mother? Your mother will expect, okay, how much? She will expect. They are going along with the friends. Since they are going along with the friends, definitely there may be more expenses. Maybe friends' birthday may come or other birthdays may come. So how much money she is going to ask? Indirectly in your mother, your mom mindset, it will run. They won't show outside to you. Then you will convince your mom and mom will convince your dad. Okay. Finally, dad will ask. Already mom will inform to dad and dad will ask, okay, my dear, how much money you need? You can go to the mall and have a film. Then you will tell, in book my show, I will book. Okay, don't worry. Even then we have to pay in online. You can book. Then when you are starting booking, you will tell, my neighbor is also coming. Already 3 friends are coming and my neighbor is also coming. Okay. So what is the money? 4 persons now has to go to the cinema theater. Your budget amount will increase. You will tell, since I am booking in online, first I will use my card and book the ticket so that we will get the seats nearby. All these things you will tell. Immediately your dad will think, okay. Dad might have estimated just 500 rupees. Now it becomes 1,000. See that one, that is the budgeting. Each and every person is having the budget thinking power. It is not our finance minister. Everybody immediately will take the mobile and book my show. Dad, give your credit card. He'll ask. Immediately dad will ask, okay dear, you can use that one. I will give my card. Then your dad will clearly know. Okay, how much you are going to pay? What is the ticket rate? The film released today only, dad. So I think in Book My Show, they are asking more money. The front seat, I can't go. I will go to the back side in the last but one row. So automatically the price will be more. What you will convince, dad, front rows are already booked. So I need ticket in the back row. Common thing. So you will book the ticket at the back row and your dad will immediately estimate. Oh, we estimated 1,000 rupees. Now it becomes 1,500. That is the budget thing. Okay, you book tickets, you are ready to go. So by the time your mom nicely asks, dear, you are going to theater? No. Whether you will come for dinner or you will complete the dinner there, you will tell, ma, I am going. I will have dinner with my friends today and come back. See that one, the budget will increase immediately. Okay, your mom will tell, okay, I will recommend your dad or I will give you some money. You can have a nice dinner there itself and come. See, for dinner expenses, it takes another 1,000 rupees. So finally, your budget for the cinema comes for 2,500 rupees. That is the budget. You must know whether you are enjoying or not, whether you are going or not. That is the relevant thing. For us, your dad will think about 2,500 rupees. My doctor is going to film or my son is going to film. The estimate is 2,500. First, how you will convince? I already got the ticket, Book My Show. It starts from 250. So you will convince your dad that it is only 250 rupees. But your dad already estimate around 2,500. Finally, it becomes 2,500. See that one. That is how the costs are increasing based upon your preference. That is why in case of business, if you are approaching the loan to a business people, you can't say like that. You are going to the bank, you are having a nice plan, you are asking immediately, you can't demand. Our investment may go up to 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs. They won't accept. They will clearly ask how much you are expecting. That is the very important thing. They will clearly ask what are all your expenses, what are all your income, how much you are going to gain. They will ask clearly. Be clear. That is why in case of business level, you must know how to prepare the budget. Even though I am telling few things, but for examination purpose, you need not worry about that one. There is only theoretical one. Anyhow, I will tell few concepts in preparing the budget. When you decided to prepare the budget, you must know two important expenses. In case of technical terms, we used to call it as fixed cost and variable cost. It is the expenses. The expenses are very important thing. Because wherever you are going to do some business or expenses, you must know clearly differentiation between the fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed cost means fixed expenses. Simple example. The rent is said to be the fixed cost or fixed expenses. Why? I am telling, whether 2 persons are residing in the home or 10 persons are residing in the home, the rent will be same. They won't adjust. That is the fixed cost. Fixed cost depends upon the entire component. In other words, without considering the sales, some expenses will come. That is the fixed expenses. Some cases it may be bribe. Some cases it may be rent. We'll see some examples of the fixed cost. You must know the fixed cost. How much fixed cost? In case of going to a cinema, there is no fixed cost. All are variable cost, because if 2 persons are going, the ticket may be 300 into 2, 600 rupees. If 4 persons are going, 300 into 4,200 rupees. That is the variable cost. It will change according to that one, but fixed cost will be like that. Whether 4 persons are going or 10 persons are going, the cost will be same. In such case, it is called the fixed expenses. In going to a cinema, there is no fixed cost, only the variable expenses. If 10 friends are going, per person, the ticket charge will be there, it will be multiplied by 10. But in business, it is not like that. Rent you are paying to your building, it is the fixed cost. Whether there is sales in your business or not, you are running a very nice Rose Bazaar in your home nearby. You are taken a rented building, a small one, and you are ready to pay 10,000 rupees as rent since it is a very small one. Whether there is a sales in your Rose Bazaar or not, you have to pay the rent. That rent is called as the fixed cost. Be clear. It is quite common. You have to estimate. In most of the business, they fail to identify the fixed cost. They know about the variable cost clearly, whatever may be the expenses. If in your place there is one car vehicle, if you are having a own vehicle, then whether 4 persons are traveling or 1 person is traveling, the cost of transportation is same. Then it is coming under the fixed cost. Be clear. You are taking your car and you are going to Nandi Hills. Whether you are alone going or 4 persons are going in the car, the petrol charges are same. Then the petrol charge is considered as the fixed cost. Why I am sending my son, okay, you can take my car and go to Nandi Hills. Don't tell to my son. Why? Because I know definitely 3 or 4 friends will join together and go. Whether 1 person is going, I have to pay the petrol charges for him to go from Bangalore to Nandi Hills, same charge. Even if 3 of them are going, same charge. That is called the fixed expenses. Dear students, you must understand the concept of fixed cost. Variable cost, it is based upon the sales. At the same time, my son is going by bus. If one person is going, he has to pay around, I think 40 rupees, I don't know exactly, 40 rupees ticket he has to pay. If three of the friends are going, it will go to 120 rupees. Then it is a variable cost for him. Reason is three friends are joining together and going, they are going in the public transport, but the cost is said to be the variable cost. At the same time, he is going in my own car, only the petrol charges. But the petrol charge will be common whether one person is going or 3 persons or 4 persons are going. After that only it will increase. See that one. So you must be able to find out what is called the fixed cost, what are called the variable cost. Why we are calculating, you will see at the end. Okay. Here there are some examples for the fixed cost. We used to call it as depreciation or amortization. Depreciation means asset utilization. You are having a car, whether the car is running or not, you have to pay some charges, motor insurance, all those things. That is all coming under the fixed cost. The rent, interest, tax payable to the government, these are all called the fixed cost. You are paying salaries to your worker, that is the fixed cost. See that one, legal expenses are said to be fixed cost. Then why you want to study that one? If you plot the fixed cost and variable cost in the graph, it will comes like that. You can see in case of x-axis, that is bottom, you can see number of units, 1000 units, 2000 units. These are all called the units. 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000. This is the price. 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 40 rupees. If you plot that one, fixed cost will be in a straight manner. You can see here. Fixed cost will be in the blue color. Variable cost will tend to increase. If the number of units are increasing, variable cost tends to increase. That is the thing you must understand. So, in case of business, what they will plan means try to utilize the fixed cost to maximum extent. That is important thing. Why you are studying this thing? Not for preparing that one. In case of business, you must know how to utilize the fixed cost to the maximum extent. That's what I am telling the example of my son going to Nandi Hills in car versus bus. 4 friends are joining. They decided to go to Nandi Hills. What they will do? We have to take the decision. If they are going by their own car, the cost will be only petrol expenses, fixed cost. So it will be flat. At the same time, the transportation charges. If they decided to go by public mode of transport, you can see, I think it goes only up to the certain level, then they have to hire another jeep or any car to go up. So totally it may go up to more amount. If one person is going, it will be only 100 rupees. If 2 persons are going, it will come 200. Likewise, it tends to increase. So what I will suggest, okay, if 4 friends are going, better you can take my car and go. Simple thing. That is the decision making. That is why you are studying the difference between the fixed cost and variable cost. In business, it is very important. Why you want to classify means you are able to take a nice decision. The decision is how maximum we can utilize the fixed cost to do the work. That is the concept of studying the difference between the fixed cost and variable cost. You can see this is called a budget. Budget is prepared. We are selling 1,000 units. Another budget, if our sales is 1,500 units, what will be that one? You can see sales price. We are selling our product for 70 rupees. So 1,000 into 70, 70,000. Here 1,500 into 70, 1,05,000. Here the price somewhat increased. So this is called a budget. These are all the income. Sales is said to be the income. Expenses, the material. How much material we need. It is the variable cost. 4 multiplied by 1,000, 4,000. If you are buying one material, it costs this 4. Since we are manufacturing 1,000 units, 1,000 multiplied by 4, 4,000. See that one here, 1,500 multiplied by 4, 6,000. That is the material cost. Material cost is said to be variable. Even labor charges are said to be variable. 15 rupees per labor. So 1,000 units multiplied by 15, 15,000. Likewise, but you can see fixed manufacturing overhead, 29,000, 29,000, 29,000. Whether we are selling 1,000 units or not, we have to pay 29,000 rupees. That is called the fixed cost. Just you can see, you need not prepare all those things, you must know. That is the concept of fixed cost, okay? If income minus expenses is the profit. That is called the budget. Why we are doing that one means very crucial thing is you have to determine the break-even point. Any business, if you are asking the money either from the government, today, next hour, you are going to present nicely the government schemes, they will ask, what is your break-even point? What you are able to tell, break-even point is nothing. No profit, no loss. You are selling 100 units. When you are selling 100 units of product, if there is no profit or no loss, that is called the breaking point. After that, whatever the units you are selling is said to be profit. In case of a small pen, you can see I am manufacturing this pen. In case of manufacturing this pen, I will prepare a budget and give to the South Indian Bank. I am going to manufacture a simple pen. So immediately South Indian Bank people ask, what is your break-even point? It means that how many units you can sell, how many pens you have to sell to make no profit or no loss. In other words, how many pens you have to sell to make a profit. How many pens you have to sell to make a profit. That is called the break-even point. You may tell, if I manufacture 500 pens, the next pen, 501 pen, is said to be a full profit. After that, whatever may be the pen we are manufacturing, we will earn profit. But less than 500 is said to be loss. So how to determine this break-even point? That is the crucial thing. That is why you are also classifying fixed cost and variable cost. You can see in this diagram, we have seen the difference of fixed cost and variable cost. You can see this red line, it is the fixed cost. Fixed cost means whatever the units we are producing, the cost will be same. Here you can see whether you are manufacturing 2,000 units or 4,000 units or 18,000 units, you have to pay same rent. So the cost is same. Dollars means rupees. Let us see, we have to incur 1 lakh rupees only. But the total variable cost tends to increase. The total cost means variable cost and fixed cost. This yellow line will go like this based upon the variable cost. If the variable cost is increasing, you can see it tends to increase like that. If you put in the graph the sales, the income, the dark blue line represents the income. If you prepare the income chart, in 0 units, there is no income. In 16,000 units, the income may be around 1,80,000 rupees. So if you draw the income as well as the expenses, the place where this income and expenses are meeting, this place we used to call it as break-even point. Clearly understand that one, dear students. This blue line is the income. This yellow line is the expense. If you put in a graph the income level and the expense level, where this income and expenses are meeting, this is called the break-even. That means that if you are producing 10,000 units, there is no profit or no loss. At the same time, if you are manufacturing 12,000 units, there will be a profit. The profit will be difference between this yellow line and blue line. This area is said to be the profit. At the same time, if you are manufacturing only 8,000 units, there will be loss. So to find out the break-even unit only, we are classifying clearly what are all the expenses and income. We used to classify between fixed and variable expenses. You must understand that one. Anyhow, you need not calculate for the exam purpose. When you are reading this type of business plan, you are able to understand. Suddenly they will ask, what is the break-even point? It simply means there is no profit or no loss. If you are making less than the break-even point, there will be only loss. At the same time, if you are manufacturing more than the break-even point, you will get the profit. So if I am submitting a business plan for the small pen, bankers will ask, what is your break-even point? I will tell based upon this chart, 10,000 units. 10,000 pen if I manufactured, that is the break-even point. After that, whatever I am going to manufacture will be the profit. I am able to gain profit. At the same time, if I am manufacturing less than 10,000, there will be a loss. Provided I have to estimate what will be the profit and loss. In other words, what is the total income? What is the total expenses? If I know that one, I am able to find out the break-even point. So in financial feasibility, you must know two things. One is payback period, we have discussed. That means within how many years you are able to get back your income. That is the payback period. Then you must know what is the budget. It is a statement of income and expenses. Then you must know what is break-even point. It means that there is no profit and no loss. After that, we will gain the profit. Okay. This is all relating to the financial feasibility. With this, we will come to an end and have a nice coffee break. After that, we'll go for your presentation. Be ready. And since I think there is no raining, when you are presenting, switch on your video camera. I will record, but don't worry, I will not post in the YouTube because seminar I have to post. So be ready for that one. I expect all the students to participate. When I am seeing the mark, I think most of them are getting good points from same group. What about some of the students? They are not ready to present. This time I am expecting all the students to present so that you will get good marks in assignment. Okay? With this, we'll have to end. We'll meet after the coffee break. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.